Witches. Hi, I'm Jessica Harlow, and welcome to the #1 place on the internet that your enemies hope you never find, at least in my opinion. So 2020 is well underway, and we've got our work cut out for us. So let's get into exactly the point of this video, which is how to prove others wrong, and more importantly, yourself right. Things not really going our way is kind of a part of life, but it's not about what happens to you, it's about how you handle what happens to you, what you do about it. And if you can take whatever circumstance, even if it's gotta be a little bit revenge, a little bit of a chip on your shoulder, and use that to fuel you and motivate you to go forward and better yourself and better your life, then I'm all for it. So that's what we're talking about here. I'm going to be giving you guys 3 tips on how to get revenge. The right way, the smart way, the healthy way. Let's get into it. There is no better revenge than success. So my first tip is invest in yourself. The first step to improving your life always starts out right up here. It starts in your mind. So that can mean your mindset, getting better at whatever it is that you might already be good at, learning a new skill. Growth and progress are really deeply needed for us in order to feel fulfilled as human beings. The worst thing in the world is feeling like you're stuck. And sometimes when you kind of feel like you want to get revenge, you're kind of feeling a little bit stuck and a little bit powerless. So instead, by really focusing on bettering yourself, it gives you movement and momentum and gives you something to focus on that's much more healthy than just sitting there and doing nothing and just feeling like you're just mad at the world. I am personally right now learning how to use Adobe Premiere Pro, and I'm learning how to do that on Skillshare. I'm so excited that Skillshare is actually sponsoring this video because I've been using Skillshare for over a year now, like an actual paying customer of Skillshare from way before they ever even knew who the hell I was. I've just always been a fan of Skillshare because it's what I've used to learn how to kind of navigate different programs that I needed to use and learn. I create ebooks now, so it was very helpful for me to figure out how to format them and make them look nice and pretty. Not only is it really affordable, I mean, I think a yearly subscription comes out to under $10 a month, but with my special link, you can get the first 2 months totally free, so you can figure out if Skillshare is for you, if you like it. But I have a funny feeling that you're really gonna like it because there are so many classes, so many different topics, but the thing is, they're not very overly long. They get to the point very quickly. Whether you're trying to learn something new or you just find that you are being pulled towards learning about something that you never really considered before, I always recommend following that inspiration because you never know where that might lead you. One of my favorite stories is about Steve Jobs, who randomly had taken a calligraphy class. This was way before he, created Apple and was doing all that, billionaire stuff. He dropped out of college, something like that. And he ended up taking a calligraphy class, and that's what inspired him to basically create all of these beautiful fonts that really weren't available at the time. So as I said, you can go to Skillshare.com. There will be a link in the description box down below where you can get 2 months completely free. All of the most successful people in the world do invest time in learning. They never think to themselves, oh, I know everything there is to know. As soon as you think that you know everything there is to know, you suddenly become someone who almost knows nothing. So tip number 2, it's not just about what you know, but who you know. As my good friend Micah Jesse would say, your network is your net worth. Now, whether you are starting out in a brand new career or a side hustle or just improving on something that you already have been working on, I know people think of networking and they think it just sounds so boring and so phony and whatnot. The best way to view networking is really just building relationships. I'm gonna tell you a really dirty little secret. Come closer. Stop focusing on what other people can do for you and start thinking about what you can do for them. The worst thing that you can do is reach out to somebody and ask them for a chance to pick their brain over a cup of coffee. If someone's advice is that valuable to you, they probably can afford their own cup of coffee, and they definitely don't have time in their busy schedule to come out and do that for you, especially if you don't really have a pre-existing relationship. Put yourself in their shoes and think about how you can help them. People will be much more likely to want to help you in the future, okay, not right away. You have a much better chance of getting their attention and later on their support, their help, or advice or whatever it is that you might be interested in getting from them. Those 2 tips I gave you alone will do wonders in getting you much further in your life, in your career, and yeah, maybe make some people a little bit envious, a little bit regretful along the way. Which leads me to, of course, my last and final tip for this video, at least for now. Tip number 3, use social media wisely. What do I mean by this? Let's talk about a very important thing, which I notice happens across the board, especially when someone has pissed you off, whether you've gone through a breakup or you've had a falling out with a friend, or you've maybe gotten fired from your job, something kind of traumatic, something disappointing has happened. Typically, what a lot of people, for whatever reason, do is they reach for social media and they start posting these ridiculous quotes. Can we make 2020 the year that we stop posting quotes that make us look so consumed with whatever it is that has just happened? I don't know about you, but I have never in my life witnessed anything being solved by people posting subliminal kind of quotes. Now, first of all, the rest of us who are watching are just like, can you please tag the person that you're talking about so we can know for sure? Because like maybe we have an idea, but we want to know. Like if you're going to share it, or just don't say anything at all because it's kind of weird. I've never in the history of my life ever seen anything be solved by a quote. Like, for example, if there was a couple and someone cheated on the other person and the person who was cheated on starts posting these quotes, I've never seen the person who was doing the cheating be like,
you know, I thought it was over, but then they posted that quote and I had to start treating them well and recommitting myself to the relationship.
It just doesn't work that way. There's a quote from Chuck Palahniuk which talks about how the best revenge is happiness, but I've got to say, it's got to be happiness mixed with a little bit of apathy. Regardless of how angry you might be, social media is not the place to do it. Deal with that in your private time, deal with that with your closest friends and confidants, deal with it with your therapist, your journal, but don't bring it onto social media. On social media, it's got to be like business as usual. Business as usual. If you like this video and you want more quick and dirty secrets on how you can get revenge the right way, the smart way, and even the fun way, you can pre-order my book, The Book on Revenge. I'll put a link to that in the description box down below, as well as don't forget to sign up for Skillshare 2 free months on me. Link in the description box down below. You can sign up, test it out, let me know how you like it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful, and as always, I look forward to talking to you again very, very soon.